Well, hello everybody. Hope all you've been well. It's a beautiful day out here, as you might imagine. I'll turn the camera around. You don't need to see my ugly mug. But yeah, it's a beautiful day, and we've had some terrible heat. I think I mentioned it on prior videos. But it's been in the 90s, and then in like 70, 80 degree dew points. So hot you didn't want to be outside. I think I've been in saunas that were cooler. Anyways, here's the garden. I don't think I've ever been outside with you guys before. But I was just thinking about what I wanted to film for this Saturday. And my brother, I was just talking to him. Thank you, Bill. He had a great idea. You just film what you're doing. I told him what I was doing. He said, well, everybody else would enjoy that. So you see here a fire in my solo fire pit, and what I'm doing is burning scraps. I do this from time to time, but usually it's scraps that I just generated, like off the CNC or in my wood shop over there. But you can see another pile of wood over here, and what this is my liability scraps. I think I'm gonna patent that term. Trademark it. Just joking, of course. But what this is a pile that I'm giving away. I've done this from time to time as well. But I have a shop on my house, which is up the hill from me here. You see it up there? I had a shop up there, I should say. Before I had this, I had a I guess it'd be probably about 2-car garage, yeah, size underneath my garage is Spancrete, and I had a shop up there, and I had a whole wall of that stacked full of wood, and I brought all that wood down here, and all of a sudden I had a liability. I still got quite the mess here, but you can see where I'm trying to store the wood. I brought all that wood right here, and it was this huge pile, and I just hate clutter. I hate messes. Matter of fact, when I built these racks, I had a rule. I've been violating it like crazy, but I always want to seek to get back to the state where there's nothing on the floor in front of the racking. Well, you can see I'm violating that. So what you see up there is maple that's been drying. There's 2 different loads. One's like 3 years old and one's 2 years old now. So both of them are dry enough to be used. Here's more scraps. All dimensional lumber, 2x6 or 2x4 or 4x4. Basically building lumber. Should get rid of a bunch of that too. Don't need that much of that. But I've been getting rid of. But I'm keeping all my oak. I'm going to make whiskey smokers and such out of that. But I'm going to reorganize this. This is supposed to be my shelf I'm going to be using for just outdoor stuff. This was going to be for hardwoods. This was going to be for non-hardwood scraps. And I'm going to put over on this shelf, well, actually this one, before I get up here, is going to be for camping stuff. And this one was going to be for my cutoffs, short cutoffs. I got to figure out how that's going to work. But right now what I'm going to do is do half of it with sheet goods, the cutoff sheet goods. And then the other half will be right now stacked up cutoffs, or stacked up sheet goods cutoffs. So I thought you put on time lapse that you guys watch that for a while. Let's see, that, and then I was going to show this as well. Finally got all my outdoor, well, not all my outdoor tools, but my outdoor tools, which a lot of them were still up at the other shop, or they were in this old blue food bin, 30 gallon plastic container. And I finally got that all designed and put up. And there's my air compressor that's plumbed into the wall. I'm trying to remember if I recorded something, but I don't know if I put it in the video. But anyway, so yeah, there's the Airstream. My John Deere tractor I bought after my mom and dad passed away. That was my, a little bit of my small inheritance went to that. So thank you, Mom and Dad. And my 30-year-old John Deere garden tractor. It's seen its better days. John Deere 425. But it's, yeah, like I said, seen its better days. I put some money into it, but I would tell you this, it's still running good. But yeah, so hopefully it continues to run fairly good. But I've been thinking about getting rid of my John Deere tractor and getting a dingo, one of those skid steer or track steer things you stand on. I think that might have a lot more utility for me. It'd have a smaller footprint. But we'll see. That probably won't happen. I love my John Deere. But yeah, I think I'll get back to work, put it on time lapse so you can see me work. Well, gonna spend some time here reorganizing things. I'll talk for a bit, explain what I'm doing, and then we'll get busy working on it, and I'll probably put it in time lapse so you don't have to be bothered watching me go really slowly here. But I got a plan. But I have a lot of, as you can see right down here, see if this, yeah, down here, I don't know if you can see that or not. Hopefully you can. But it's a huge pile of oak, red oak. I have lots of red oak. You can tell how long I've had some of this wood based on the fact that it's red oak. Because red oak was all the rage, and then it went out of favor in favor of actually maple. And then white oak and hickory. We were just talking about that yesterday, my neighbor and I, Jeff. But yeah, red oak is supposedly coming back, but I have a bunch of it. I'm going to make some whiskey smokers out of a lot of this, as well as I'm going to make some, well, actually Teresa's quilt cabinet out of red oak. At least that's the current plan. We'll see if it pans out. This wood over here, I'm actually keeping, because it's really thin, and I think I can use that on the laser. And then down here, see if we can, this gimbal goes down far enough, I have a pile of cutoffs for oak as well. So, trying to think of the best way to tackle this. And it's going to be a little bit of a challenge because I got something in the way. This is why I don't want crap on the floor, because you want to get towards or get to the racking and you have crap in the way. And it's crap in the way almost the entire way down. Although part of the challenge is, like over here, this crap is in the way because I don't have room on the shelf right now to store it. This just needs to be organized. And then this stuff can go up there. This stuff will go up there. This is the cornhole corn toss game. I made these some time ago. My youngest daughter, Sarah, helped me paint them. And I don't use them except for when we camp. And even then, not that often. I got some clamps here. Can't have too many clamps, bar clamps. They're kind of a liability till you use them, and then they're an asset. And then way up there is more stuff that I don't use very often. That's kind of the theory, is as you go up, becomes stuff that's less frequently used. And then back here is just storage. So I don't know. You can see I'm kind of dragging my feet, it feels like, maybe. Just a little. So yeah, so I think I'm going to end up having to take these down here, put some oak here, because it's hard to lift stuff all the way from the ground, all the way up. So I think I'll get busy here and put it in time lapse, and we'll talk to you guys towards the end. okay. I have all the oak boards up there, all the longer ones. I think I have a couple down here. I have a nice pile of stuff over here too. But luckily, I think everything I'm keeping now is in here, which means I have a lot fewer boards. As you saw earlier, I got a huge pile out there. Hopefully I got a couple people that are interested, but Craigslist and Facebook Marketplace, if you've ever sold anything or even given something away on there, you know what I'm talking about. Where is this available? For some reason, nobody responds after you say that sometimes. But I have a rule right now, and they have to take it all, which might be a bit more than most people can bite off. But if I end up taking it to the garbage, which I hope I don't have to, or the dump, it's $75 minimum charge. Got stuck with that once before. I didn't think on the way in, and therefore I didn't think to ask. And I had about a quarter of that, thinking, oh, it'll be $10, $15. No, $75. Yeah, but it's worth being gone. So that's nice to have. But like stuff like this, a 2x6, I don't know, 8-footer maybe. Yeah, 8-footer, definitely an 8-footer, 8-foot shelf. Can't throw that away. Don't want to give it away. That's why all these boards, the just in cases, just in case. But now wood's so darn expensive, you hate to throw it away. And down in Florida, we have the joke, there's no such thing as junk wood. There's just wood that hasn't been used yet. And that's my motto as well. So I get back to work, more time lapse. Going to put some dimensional stuff here, and I'll be back after this shelf stuff. I didn't have nearly the amount of dimensional lumber, or pine, I guess you could say, as I thought I did. But it's a good thing. I had a rule, once I took it out there, it can't come back in. It's really killing me, but that's the way that's got to work. So, got a few things here. But yeah, so all this stuff is going to be for cutoffs. I don't know, I got some plywood. For today, I might just stack the plywood in there for now, because I'm not going to get all this done today. Well, I don't think I am. We'll see. But as you might imagine, I gained quite a bit of space already. So maybe I could leave the sheets of plywood here for now. Do my cutoffs up there. I don't really have a grand strategy for managing scraps. But I don't really know any woodworkers that I follow on YouTube or know personally that have a grand strategy for scraps, other than they all seem to have the exact same problem I do. Too many scraps. This is some cool wood. This is PVC. Cuts really nice on my CNC. I made a insert for my propane tank in my Airstream. Could have bought one for like $50 or something like that. And I just made a prototype or a cardboard template on a cardboard template, and then cut it out on my CNC. Worked out fabulous. I bought this at a big box store called Menards, and I have a lot left over. This is how this happens, though. You got to buy a bigger sheet, and use it. Well, you look at it going, oh, this will come in handy someday. It's exactly how that starts. But what's a guy to do? You know, you can't throw away perfectly good wood, although that's what I seem to be doing now. I have a lot of oak cutoffs, a lot of scraps and stuff like that, which is good, I guess, if you're making crafts like me. But the problem is, here's one problem with oak pieces. Well, now I can't put my hand on one. I took a bunch of them over here there. So I take a piece like this. I can get probably 2 whiskey smokers out of this. Yeah, 2. But I can only get 2. So I have to set up the machine for a whiskey smoker, let it run. Now granted, it only runs a little bit, but nonetheless, you got to set it up that way. And then I have to actually, because I have a nice knot in the middle, I got to move them over, so I got to change the design. Is it worth it? Now I'm frugal enough to say yes, or at least can't seem to say no. It's probably a better way to say it. But I have a lot of those scraps down there. You can't see them, they're probably off camera. And I have a lot of scraps here, not oak. Here's a nice walnut scrap. Look at that. I love walnut. But again, how do you get rid of this? So I'm going to keep my hardwood scraps separate from my softwood scraps. I tend to use lately hardwood scraps a whole lot more frequently than I do softwood. One of the things I plan on making, and I'll talk about later, is actually hopefully some breadboards, and hopefully I can make them where it's like maple and walnut combined, or, well, I shouldn't say or, and I plan on making some more cracker and cheese trays where they're, again, boards glued up. I was going to say laminated, but they're glued up, so you get some contrast. But I would tell you the ones that are just pure maple sell like hotcakes. I can't make them fast enough. So, and those I don't have any work to prepare the wood in terms of glue up. So maybe I'll just make those. I don't know. We'll see. I'll talk more about that later. I do have some round dowels, closet rod kind of stuff. This one I've been carrying around for a long time. I wonder how many times I've moved this piece of wood. A few. Hello everybody. As you might tell from my shirt, it's the next day, or at least not the same day anyways. And got all my projects that I was working on done yesterday. You can see all that's left from me burning wood is some remnants on the ground. I burned for about, I don't know, probably 8-9 hours solid. Stoked the coals all the time. And then you probably remember this huge pile of wood I used to have right here. Well, a young woodworker from Vietnam, believe it or not, stopped in last night, picked it up. He's going to come back and pick up the rest of this stuff. He had a pickup, and it wouldn't fit. So that was nice to give him a lot of that. Pretty excited to help out young woodworkers. I really am. I gave it away all free. That's like a drug on the internet, no doubt about it, free stuff. So yeah, so he's gonna make some cool stuff. We talked a bit about what he does in his woodworking. He was gonna sort through it all and then pass on what he didn't need. And then you probably remember I also was working on cleaning up this area over here. And I think I promised to give you an update. So you can see I actually completed my task. I have all the oak up there. You saw some of this in the time lapse yesterday. I got this, yard stuff, outdoor stuff all cleaned up. That made me feel real good as well. Got my camping shelf all organized. Stuff that goes every time, go here, and then as you move that way, it's stuff that goes sometimes, or excess parts, that kind of thing. But you can see I'm getting pretty close to getting back to nothing in front of the racks here. So made me feel good to get that far. Did that finish that today. Got busy yesterday. I think I'll go over to the bench now and give you a quick update and then end this video. Well, there you have it. Another week's video in the can. And who'd have thunk that recording the ending would be the hardest part about recording. I bet you I'm on take 15 of this. Rambling on, too short, too many ums and ahs, that kind of thing. But I do appreciate you watching this far. I appreciate you watching all my videos, all the kind words that have been coming my way. If you have any ideas for videos, put them in the comments below. I am soliciting for ideas for craft shows. Please comment below or send me an email if you have any ideas on things you think I should make at a craft show. It can either be 3D printed stuff done on the CNC, or stuff done with a laser, or a combination of those things. But I really would love to hear from you. Thank you very much for watching, and God bless. Curious Kicks out.